Okay, so apologies for the glitch. So we are back now. We're trying to differentiate between load and transform data. And Bisola gave us the correct answer. We load the data when we know we've already done the necessary data cleaning. And then we have confidence in that data state, then we can just load it and go to Power BI straight for your reports and your analysis. But we have to transform the data if it is still dirty and we are not, or we can't vouch for the accuracy of that data set. So we'll do the same thing now because we didn't save it the last time. So I'll just go straight to transform data. Yeah, so I believe you can see my Power Query. I'm on Power Query at the moment. So we discussed extensively about many of the things we have here. Let me check the chat box, like we have something. Okay. So we discussed extensively about many of the things we have here last week. The column quality, talking about the valid, error, and the empty. We also talked about the data type. That data type is actually very important. I mentioned that it can affect your analysis or your reports when something is a code or is a primary key, and then you decide to leave it as 1, 2, 3, which is number, whole number, right? So it can disrupt your analysis. So what I would do now is we all need to unmute ourselves and then you just tell me, just like a repetition of what we did the last time, just that will be faster this time around because we've done all of this. I know there were questions the last time, so I'm just going to run through many of these things again. Okay, so let's go, please. Or you can drop it in the chat box. This order ID, what is the right data type for it? I wonder, please just take note of the participation so we can give necessary marks. What is the order ID? Well, what is the next data type for order ID, please? No response. Can anyone hear me? What is the data type for order ID? The order ID is a primary key, the unique identifier, a code. So what is it? Okay, so Abdullah said tests, which is correct. And then customer ID, not replace step. You have to add new step. I believe you understand these apply steps according to what we did the last time in our class. If you've not been able to go through that video, it's already on your portal. So just visit your portal and then go through the video. All right, unique code test. Thank you so much, Oluwamuyiwa. So customer ID the same. Employee ID, we need to change it to tests, right? And I explained the reason for that the last time. The order date is in date format, which is correct. That is it. Our required date is in date format, which is correct. Ship country is just in test ship name. Product ID should be changed to test also, right? Product name ABC, that's test, correct. Unit price in decimal, which is correct. Quantity, whole number, which is correct. Sales amount is in decimal, so discount is in decimal. Net sales is in decimal. Cost, profit, they are all in decimal, and that makes sense, right? So this one is fine. This one is fine. So we can come to employee, just a recap. Employee ID should be changed to test also. Oh, sorry. Should be changed to test. So please, I want someone to just unmute, and this will be 10 marks actually. Can you just put me through on if my boss, just as I explained the last time, my boss asked me to merge these two names together, how am I going to go about it? So I need someone to unmute and put me through. How will I do that?
You will highlight both columns.
Okay.
And then you will right click.
Okay.
And it should wait. No, is it transform? Or merge columns.
Merge columns. Okay.
And then you can check separator.
So which separator am I selecting?
Space.
Space. Okay. What am I to do here?
You can put last name and first name.
Okay, or maybe I should just call it full name.
Full name.
Okay,
And
so
then
that's the next
okay.
one.
Okay.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Bisola. That's a good one. And I really appreciate your participation. All right, thank you so much. So that's our full name. Very simple to match columns. The same thing if you want to separate the columns. There's a way you can just separate it using that same route or going through that same route. So you just separate the column. All right. So let's check customer. Wait, let me check this. Is this okay? And I also mentioned something about this valid being 100% the last time. It can be 100% and there will still be error. This thing is AI. It doesn't know what your headers are, so it can just assume something is your header when it's not the header, and it will still show 100%. Most times it will not be 100% only when you have missing values. So you just say null, null, null. And when you have too much null or when you have null in your data set, it means it is dirty. Ordinarily, there shouldn't be significant missing figures. All right, so let's check our customer's query. Customer's query, the first error we identified was the fact that, okay, who can remind me? Apart from Bisola now, who can remind me? What was the error we first noticed here under the customer sheet or customer query?
The header.
The header, thank you so much. The header is incorrect, right? So what was that?
Yeah, the header was incorrect. This Paul.
Okay, okay, Prof. Paul. Good. So
No, not
how
for
do
Paul. The other
okay,
Paul.
okay, Paul. Oh, that's so how do we correct this? Can you put me through? I'm seeing the answer like this. I'm seeing the answer straight, but I want you to put me through.
Yeah, so you click on the window or that table set there, and then you click on use post row as header.
Where am I clicking on? Yeah.
No, by so go left. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I can just simply still click on this or anywhere in this data set, and then I'm going to say use post row as headers to automatically update that. Wonder, please let's take note. That's the marks to from Paul to Paul O. Okay, so I'm checking through this data now. I'm not sure it has much issues. I don't think so. I think everything is just test, test, test. All right, so on the face level, this is a basic kind of transformation you can do, data cleaning you can do on any data set. We'll still come up with this one is just like a basic data set actually. So we'll still come up with maybe a little bit sophisticated data set that we can use for analysis. But this one is just to introduce us to the Microsoft Power BI interface. All right, so I also discussed I brought up something in the last class. I was talking about merge queries and append queries. Who can tell me the difference between the two? And that is going to be 20 marks because it's a whole lot. I just touched on it and I left it. So tell me the difference between take your home tab. If you are using your system, under your home tab, just go to the right and see combine, merge, append. So who will tell me the difference between the two? Who wants to
So
try?
merge you combine data down to up.
Okay, down, up.
Yeah, then append is adding extra information to the data. So you
Okay,
have
so,
left,
so let's
right,
practicalize that
left.
now. Okay, right, left. So let's practicalize that now to see how correct we had. So go back to your order sheet or your order query. So your manager has just told you that I don't like the
Sorry,
customer ID. You said?
sorry for bringing you back. I think I missed something on the customer, how we change the header. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So just go to your customer sheet here. Let me remove this step. So just as I told us the last time, apply steps makes a lot of sense. Unlike your normal Microsoft package where you use your Control Z, and then the whole thing is disrupted. Instead of me to adjust the last thing, I can just come to promoted headers, and then I'll delete it. Delete step. Oh, let me go back to delete it. Okay, good. All right. So this was a error. So if you check the headers now, they are not right. It's not column 1, column 2. The headers are just here on the fourth row. So just go to your home tab. You can click anywhere in the data set. So just go to your home tab and then check your transform ribbon. You'll see use post row as headers. So you are asking Power BI or Power Query rather to use this row 1 as the header, which is the correct thing. So you just click on it and then boom, it should move up. Did you get that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So what were we discussing about? So we're discussing about this merge and append query, and Paul also said something very meaningful. So let's just test what he said. All right. So your manager had just told you that I don't like the idea of well, other ID is still fine, but why are you telling me customer ID? How will I know? Will MK trade? He said, my manager, I'm doing this because that's the right thing to do. These are just primary key. The man said, I'm not familiar with data analytics. Just give me the right names. Then what you just need to do is this customer ID. Go to your customer queries. Out of everything you have here, what actually speaks to this will MK most? So that when my bot sees that particular name here is going to recognize who the customer is. And I think the best thing is a company name, Wilman Kala. That's the meaning of Will MK. I can't use the contact name. I can't use the Mario Pond. The best thing I can just use to replace this customer ID here is what? Will MK, Anarikas, and things like that. So I'll use the company name. If you are to do this on Excel, you use your VLOOKUP or maybe XLOOKUP can do that too, right? But there's no VLOOKUP here. So what we just rather do is to use either the merge queries or append queries. So don't forget what we want to do now is right, left, right? So we'll use that to justify Paul O's answer. So I'll come to others. So what I want to change actually is this customer ID. Please just, you can leave your system first and pay attention to this. I'll do it the second time, but look at the way I want to do it first. All right, so let's say I want to merge queries. All right. So what will merge query do? Select a table, match columns to create a merged table, right? So I want to merge query. Don't forget the assignment my manager just given to me. I don't want customer ID. Give me the company's name. That's the customer's name. All right, so under this order sheets, what do I actually want to change? Or what do I want to replace? It is this customer ID, right? So I'll click on the column header, customer ID. All right. So I'll click on this. I want to replace with what? In what sheet or what query? Don't forget, I'm actually going to customer's query. That's where I want to bring in the actual value from. So I'll go to my customer query. So you can see it here under customer query. So now, customer ID is here. Don't forget when we get to SQL, or if you are familiar with relational database, we'll still do relational database, right? So that's the essence of having a primary key. A primary key is here. It can easily connect and create a model to another query called customer query or customer sheet because it has a primary key here and the same thing is here too. So see the way I form the relationship now. There's a customer ID here. I also want to replace the customer ID with something under this customer, customer sheet or customer query. So don't click on this customer name yet. Just click on this customer ID. So there should be, it should be in tandem, customer ID, right? Are we together? Okay, so left, outer, all from false, match from second, that's fine. For you to know you are very correct with what you are doing, your selection must be 100 of 100. That simply means 2155 or 2155. I have 2155 rows, 2155 rows. So everything must match. You can just leave every other option and then click on your OK. Let's see if we have anything that makes sense. So look at what we have here, customers. So what this is telling us is that, don't forget we are still in orders query or sheets, order sheets, right? So what this is telling us is that you have things from you have the whole of your customer sheet in your order sheet. But you now have to make a selection. You now have to make a decision on which do you actually want. Yeah, not everything under your code. Because if you look at your customer sheet, you have customer ID, the name, the contact name, the company name, the contact title. All of these columns, they are here now. They are here. So you need to use your discretion to say, okay, which one do I want to pick? And don't forget the assignments manager has given to us. Change the customer ID, not to any other thing, but to the company's name, right? So come back to your order sheet now. And then look at this arrow pointing to left and right. Just click on it. That arrow pointing left and right, just click on it. Unselect all, and then click on the one you actually want. Okay, use original prefix, unselect everything. What do we want again? Can anyone remind me? So I will know you are following me and you know what I'm trying to do. What are we actually trying to bring out from that customer sheet to other sheets? Please, can anyone unmute and remind me before I click on it? I just want to be sure you are getting what I'm doing. Or you can drop it in the chat box. I'm waiting. What does my boss actually want? I'm not seeing anything in the chat box, please. Okay. I want to start calling names. Okay, Messi, do you want to guess? Or I think you started the class, or I'm not sure. But can you remember what I mentioned initially? Okay, the company's name. Thank you so much. That's 5 marks for Mojisola Samuel. Wonder, please take note. All right, so that's the company name. I'm going to select the company's name and then I'll click on OK. Let's see what happens. Wow, the magic is happening. So let me drag this. Let me drag this. Just keep dragging till you get to where you have the customer ID and we'll see if it correlates at all. Just keep dragging till you get to customer ID. Okay, see customer ID here. So I can just drop it here. Now, this is the customer ID. This is the company name I just brought. If you take this Will Mancala, it's still the same thing. Trade H is still the same thing. This Anna is still the same thing. Just go through it, you'll see it's still the same thing. So my boss said, I don't need customer ID. So I can just remove this. Just remove this. And then if you wish, you can just change the name here. Just call it maybe customer name or something. Good. Right. So let me pause here. Do we all get this merge query? I used merge queries, not append queries. So do we all get this now? If you don't understand it, just ask me to go back. I'll just go back so I can
I don't
read.
understand it, sir.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
I tried to replicate it, it was just adding stuff down, 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 down.
Okay. Okay. Did you use a merge or append or merge queries?
To get the question again, in orders, the customer ID, we want to change it to the name,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
company's name that is in
Yeah.
the customer worksheet. Is
Let me
is
come
that what,
over.
is that the intent, right?
Yeah. Let me do it all over again. Let me just remove all these ones. Reordered columns removed. What again did I do? Let me remove the expanded columns. Let me remove the merge queries. Good, good. Yeah. So it's back to the original data set now. Now get the story very well. I know the meaning of Will MK because I'm the data analyst here. I know the meaning of Victor. I know the meaning of this Anna. I know the meaning of jobs. By going to my customer sheet, I can easily see what Will MK means. It means Will Mancala. This Vic now, see what it means here. The jobs, see what jobs mean. Welly, this is what it means. But my manager does not have the luxury of time to start checking it one after the other. So he said, instead of giving me customer ID, or data analyst, I don't understand what it means. Change this customer ID, give me the real name of the company. this trade H, give me the real name of the company. I don't have the luxury of time to start going to what is for instance, this guy had a very good sale. So what's this risk? This Rixu. I'll go to customer sheet. I'll check for the meaning of Rix. Okay, it means Richard Supermax. Then I'll check another one. What's the meaning of this trade H? Then I'll go to customer sheets. What's the meaning of trade H? My manager said he doesn't have that luxury of time. What he wants to see here is the real name of the company. Remove the customer ID. Now I said for me to do that, I need to use my append queries. Append queries to introduce a new column, to attach a new column to these orders. So how will I get the full name of this? I can only get it from this order query, this order sheet here, customer sheet. It is here, customer name. So how would I bring them together? Merge queries is the answer. So I'll just click on the first step now is that you understand what you are doing. What you are doing is you want to replace customer ID with the full name of the customer. And you can only get the full name from the customer sheet, right? The second column here. So that's the first thing. The second step is which query am I using? Am I using append queries or I'm using merge query? In this case, we are only merging queries right to left. We are only merging query. I took my time to explain the difference between the merge and the append last week. So we are only merging query this time around. And how do we do that? Just click on the merge queries. Now, which column do you want to replace? Customer ID. Very simple answer. You want to replace this customer ID with what? With the customer name. Now the question is, where do you want to get that customer name? Then you come here, I'll get it from customer sheet, that customer. Now the next question is, what is the similarity or which column is actually similar between this order sheet and customer sheet? Don't forget I've chosen customer ID here. A similar column here is customer ID also. So customer ID marries customer ID under the customer sheet. Customer ID under the order sheet marries customer ID under the customer sheet. By the time I click on that, the selection matches. Just check this side where you have a mark. The selection matches 2155 of 2155. That simply means my selection is accurate. If I was to choose on something else, it won't make any sense. See, the selection matches 0 of 2155. That simply means these two columns are not similar. Customer ID here, company name here. To click on this, it won't make any sense either. So customer ID, customer ID. So you just click on your OK. Do we get it to that point? I just need like 2 years. Okay, good, good. Thank you. All right, so once you've been able to do that, in Power Query, under this order sheets, you've been able to merge rather. You've been able to merge, introduce a new sheet or query into other sheet or query. Let's just call it query for the sake of Power Query. So instead of saying sheet or query, so you've been able to introduce a new customer query into others query. But the whole thing here, they are just too much. If you expand this to look at this arrow facing two sides now, if you click on it, you discover that everything you have in this column, they are just almost 7 columns. But the only thing you need is the company name because you want to replace customer ID with company name. The only thing you need from this customer sheet that you've been able to bring in, from this customer query you've been able to bring into others query is the company name. So you just click on uncheck every other thing, click on your customer name, and then click OK. So you have the real name now. So I said you can drag that. Sorry. Just drag that to the front. So it can be beside the customer ID. Then you'll be able to assess the accuracy of what you have done. Drag in and yeah. Okay. So this is customer ID. Will MK, Will Mancala. Trade H, this is the meaning. Anna, this is the meaning. Vic E or Vic, this is the meaning. Jobs, this is the full name, right? So I can just remove this since my manager said he doesn't want this. So I'll just remove this. So what I have here is perfectly correct. I've been able to certify my manager. Let me remove this. So I've been able to satisfy my manager by having company name instead of customer ID. Do we get it to this point, please? I can do it for the third time if you are not getting it. So I just need like 2 years or 2 no. So if I'll move forward, I'll repeat it again. Yes, thank you, Bisola. Any other yes or no?
Just to remove the column, that's where I am right now. The
So if you
customer
want to
ID
remove the
column.
column, just right click on the header where you have that customer ID and then you see remove.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. So there are quite a number of other things we'll be doing. So Wonderful will be taking the next section and it will still go over a number of these things using another data sets, which will be shared with us on our Telegram group. So there are still a lot of, if you check through this place now, you see we've not exhausted all these options here. If you check your transform tab, there are still quite a number of things that are there that we've not done. Check your hard column, that one is even simple. Check your view. So there are a number of things that we can still do actually. But this is we doing a kind of Power BI interface tour. We are just toying around, just checking the environment. Now, let's assume we are done with the data cleaning. We are done with everything we want to achieve, and this data is now clean. The next thing to do is come to this left side of the window, and then you click on close and apply. Close and apply, not just apply, not just close. That apply simply means you are saving it and then you are taking it to your Microsoft Power BI. So let's just close and apply. Close and apply. So that should take you back to your normal Power BI. And I want to believe you can see my screen too. So we are now on Power BI. So what's happening here? Loading, 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 loading. So we have customers loaded with other sheets, employee loaded, and then others loaded. So as I explained when we started this training, this data pane, I said we have 3 panes here, and we can increase it. We have data, we have visualizations, and then we have filters. So this data pane is to tell you that, hey, you have some data you've loaded already. And so you can work around just these 3 data. You can load as many as possible, but we have 3 here at the moment. We still have some other interesting ones that Wonderful will be sharing with us. But at least for now, we have these 3, and so we can start building our reports. But before we go there, please, is there any question on the Power Query? We still have like 2 sections or 3 sections rather on Power BI, and we'll still play around many of these things. But for now, I want to be sure.
It will be taking us forward. But
You said?
hello.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I said my question might take us back. I just wanted to have that query set. Is it property settings where you can delete? That same problem I had at that time where you can just, let's say, instead of you control Z in, you can
Okay,
just
okay. It's query settings actually. Once you click on that
yeah,
query settings.
I didn't have that in my original stuff. I just wanted to before you went to this.
Yeah, so
Before
just
you
go
went
back
to
to the
Z
Power
down.
Query. Are you still on Power Query?
No, I'm now new. I'm now where you are right now.
Okay, 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 okay. So so you don't have this data pin, is that what you're saying?
No, I have this data pin now, yeah, in this new Power Query you have. I'm just talking about the previous. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So at least you have it now, you are fine.
Yes, I have it now. When I loaded and close
Okay,
and load
okay,
this
makes sense.
new. Yeah. I'm just surprised that during the query it was not there. This visualization data and filters were not there, but now
Now you have
in
it.
the loaded format, yeah, yeah.
I
But
was
there's no
also wondering
problem.
why you
We'll
didn't
go
have
back.
it because by default it will just appear at least those 3. You can add others later.
You asked me to click something first if it was not appearing. That's what I wanted to know. Maybe later I can try it.
Okay.
So I open a blank stuff.
Okay, so before we start building our visuals, I just want us to have this data. So we have the first 3. Please, Wanda, I hope you are taking note of the marks. Just in the next few minutes, just give us the answer. So I believe this brings that is actually correct. The question is correct. so that the likes of Bisola will not criticize this one again. Okay, so let's have the answer. The first three. Wanda, please take note of the 5 marks for the first three. Let me pause. Now. So it's actually very simple. This is the question and this is the answer, 300. As simple as ABC. So let's go back to our Power BI and play around the environments. So the first thing you want to do is to have a very good template or background. Now, when it comes to graphs and charts and visualization, as a data analytics expert, you need to understand the brand of the organization you are working for. For instance, if you are doing an outsourced or they outsourced you to come and help them with, for instance, now their marketing strategy, to do some analysis on it and give a feedback or a report. So, for instance, if it were to be MTN Nigeria here, we all know their brand color is something like yellow, glow something like MTN, or you are working for an agency, you just want to know what their brand is. So that will also help you when you are building your visual. It looks somehow insignificant when you are not a graphic designer, but trust me, it's something significant actually, because that simply means you understand their business to the extent of even using their color when you are building your visual. All right, so the first thing we want to do here is let's insert something that looks beautiful. Let me check my view. Yes, so just come to your view tab and then let's just check one of these. Anyone that I know people loves going for this because it looks much more beautiful, but there are other ones you can actually choose. So this is our canvas. We want to start building our visual now, but the first thing we need to understand is before I start designing this thing, what is the problem? What am I actually looking for? And that will take us back to, our what's it called now? The question, the case study, right? That will take us back to our case study. What's actually the problem? What are we actually looking for? And so if you go back to the case study, it says that you are part of a data analytics team, and one of your work as a data analyst is to clean the data, get the data ready, right? So now you've been able to get the data ready, showing the different products and all that. Now you want to address the problem. The problem is that there is a fluctuation or there are fluctuations in the sales performance. So there is a kind of concentration on that sales. We need to analyze that sales to know month on month what is sales doing, year on year what is sales doing. If there are regions or countries per country, what is sales doing? So it is from those analyses and those visuals that will be able to bring up some initiatives and some insights. All right. So don't forget that our major action here is to analyze the sales data from the last quarter to provide actionable insight. So the question I want to ask us is that from all these columns we have, from the customer query, the orders query, the employee query, what are the relevant KPIs? What are the relevant key performance indicators that we can, bring up? An example is total sales, sales by product category, and all of that. So let's go back to our Power BI. Where's my Power BI? Okay. So let's go back to our Power BI and see what we can actually do on Power BI. Please, is someone following me? Is it making anything? Is it making any sense? I just need like 2 years. Is anyone following me? Is it making any sense? I need 2 years, yes, yes, or two, no, no. So know either I'm moving forward or going back. Thank you, sir. I need one more response. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Thank you, Bisola. All right, so let's check this side now. That's the data pane. Let's go to the other sheets. Or before doing that, the first thing you want to do is let's just do something basic, like something very basic. Let me just bring up a text box. I came to my home tab, check the insert ribbon, and then you have your text box there. So we can just have a name. Let's just put a name to what we are doing, right? So what name are we going to use? Let's use let's call it Enterprise. We don't know the name of or did they provide name? I doubt it. So let's just call it enterprise. So you can bring in this name, not only the name, maybe you have a logo, you have something you just want to insert, you can just bring in anything that will make it colorful. You saw the one I shared with when we started now, but was it the last class or maybe when we did the first section, the intro section? I showed you PowerBI, you saw the interface, you saw the yellow color, you saw the logo. I also shared the one I designed, that one that was showing green color. You saw how I brought in a logo that shows, a phone. All of those things, they are part of your presentation skills that we actually need to build. So you can just have sales enterprise, and then you call these, let's call it, I don't know if you call it sales reports, or let me check what the requirement is. You can just bring up that from the requirement. Analysis of the sales data. Let's call that analysis of sales data from, well, there's no need for that. That's why I
Sorry,
said it's
I'm
just
lost.
something simple. You are lost where?
So from the blank, so when you have the customers, employee orders, and then it has the blank page that says build visuals with your data. So when I click on view, what am I to click before I have all these options? I click on view and nothing pops up.
View. Sorry, I don't get that. Not view. Just come to your home tab, and then you see this new, this text box.
No, I mean for the teams, this display, this design you have in front of you now, right now.
Okay. Yeah, so just go to your view, and then you can click on any of the thing.
Any of the teams, okay.
Yeah, so
There's a,
apart from the theme, you can also choose maybe from your gallery, you have some themes, you have some pictures you've saved. You can just choose anyone.
yeah. So when I click, nothing appeared. That's why I'm surprised.
Oh, really? If I change this, for instance, it will also change here. So I think something should appear. If not, something is wrong. Normally, it should change. You can see how it is changing here. So if I change it to this, it's going to change.
You click
Like,
any of this stuff, like the customers, orders, employees,
no,
before
no,
you
no,
have
no,
it.
no. Just click on the canvas. Anywhere here, just click on anywhere around the canvas, and then go and choose your thing.
Okay,
Let me
just a
change it to
minute.
this black, even though it won't make sense. Let me change it to black. Damn enterprise analysis of data. I can have in bracket. I know this is not the date, but just an example. 20, let's say 2022,
Coming up, I don't know.
2023, something like that.
Excuse me, sir. I was trying to write inside the text box. It doesn't go through. So
No, it will. By default, it has a very small font size. So you need to increase the font size. So this is what I mean. Once I click on anywhere around there, you need to come to it should bring out this box. So you change the font style, but more importantly, just change the font size. It has a small font size by default. So you won't even know there's something there. You might even be typing and then you won't even know you are typing something. So just try it again now. Try to increase it. Highlight it first, like Control A inside the text box. Then try to increase the font size.
but like we have to click inside the text box, right? Before we can type in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not showing anything. So
You can also and you did Control A just to highlight everything.
okay.
Just do Control A just to highlight everything in the box. Click any part of the box. Use your Control A. Increase the font size because by default is always small. So increase it and then type anything. It should appear.
Okay.
Oh, something else. So guys, let's just give like 3 minutes so that everybody will catch up. I want to be sure everyone is working on this. Let me pause this so I can go around. Okay, so just as I said, this is just like a simple template. We need that damn enterprise and then analysis of sales data. By the time you are doing your project, it has to be something much more comprehensive, right? So, but this one is just by the way. So let's go back to our data pane and see what we can do. First of all, let's even get the total sales because if you look at the action required, the business wants to know what their total sales look like. And can someone tell me where we can get the total sales here? I mean, we can't get it from the customer query, can't get it from the employee query, we can only get it from the other query which I've opened. So just look through it and tell me what I can pick up as where I can get my total sales. Just mention the line item on that, please take
Maybe
note.
net sales amount or sales amount. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Sales amount. So I can just click on my visual. The best thing to actually do. Wait, am I recording? Yes. Yeah, so the best thing to actually do is let's look for a card chart. So now, visualization alone is a topic on its own. I should have even done a slide for visualization because many data analysts used to miss it when it comes to visualization. I mean, you want to talk about the different countries in Asia, for instance, or in Africa. In Africa, where we have over 50 countries, and you want to do a kind of demographic analysis. You want a chart that will show different distribution of their population. And then you are choosing pie charts. That's very poor. That person has zero already. So what I'm trying to say is that you, as a data analyst, I think we'll start from there the next class. We need to talk about data visualization because many people actually miss at that point. A data analyst should know the best visual for every of his reports. So if you are looking at the death rates during COVID-19, 2019 or 2020 coronavirus issue, you need to know that what I'm to use is what a map chart, for instance. If you are looking at let me look at uh, what can I call this now? Different marks for different students in the class. A table chart can just do something very simple for you. You are looking at time, anything that has to do with time, you should know a line chart is your best bet. So what I'm trying to say is that know the best charts for every of your analysis or for your reports, right? Not just anything. Now we want to check what the total sales amount is. What is the best chart to use here? We have over 15 charts here or more than 20, and we even still have more apart from this. What is the best chart to display? We just want to display a figure. What is the best chart to use? If you can score that or if you can give me the correct answer, that is straight 40 marks. Straight 40 marks. Just tell me the right chart. I'm looking at it right now. Or just tell me the right chart. I don't want to put my mouse on it because it will tell you the name.
Or
What's the question again?
The right chart to use to display our sales amounts, the total sales amounts. Just a figure. Someone said bar chart. Any other answer? Just look
Total
at it.
sales.
Yeah, total sales.
Funnel.
Um,
Each person funnel
Funnel.
chart.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so we call it a
bar
car
chart will be
chart.
good.
Bar chart won't do the work because we are dealing with just one variable here. So you are not comparing bar charts. You will use it when you want to compare something with something,
Cheat
right?
sheet.
Which one is more?
Mm.
But here we are looking at just one thing, and that single thing is the sales amount. So we use our card chart for that, which is this. We call it a card chart. I'll click on my net sales amount, and then here is it. So you call it your card chart. So very straight, very simple. You can see what your net sales amount is 1.5, sorry, 1.35 million, right? That is gone. So you go back to that, our action required. They want to know the total sales, and we have it already. All right, so what else can we do? What else can we actually bring up from here? Let's just look at it together. Just tell me what other KPI you can. Do we have maybe sales per something that we can check the action required and then, okay, Samuel, hey, your hand is up. You want to say something? You can go for it.
Yes. Oh, okay. So let me just share what I wanted to see. Just give me it's like 20 seconds, sorry.
Okay, you want to share your screen?
So actually, I wanted to say that I got the answer, but
Ah,
I
wait.
sent it to the wrong person. I didn't know I was sending a direct message to Bro Paul. Bro Paulo. I thought it was in the group.
Oh, really? You got
You
your
got
phone.
it, Bro Paul, right? Who is Paul O in the group? MB.
So, Paul, oh, did you get it?
Paul OMB. I didn't know it was a direct chat to him, so I just chatted and I sent it. I just realized that, but it's okay, we can go.
Okay, okay, great,
Wait,
great, great.
Paul, not also Paul F.
No, no, different.
Oh, sorry, it's me. I have two screens. So sorry.
Okay,
Let me.
okay.
Yes, I'm using my phone and then my screen to do the practical. So I'm listening to you on the phone. So
All right, so one of the KPIs I want to mention, that chart. All right, okay. You can check profits. Makes sense. Profits and what? Because now we are not dealing with a variable. We need to deal with two different things. Profits versus what? If I may ask.
Quantity.
Cost.
Cost,
Cost.
cost, profits and costs. They are both numeric. Do you think it will work? I doubt it. So what if we check the profits and we have different employees that we have assigned to different customers. So we want to know the profits we're able to generate from each of those employees. Or even if you don't want to do that, we want to look at let's say the customer name, that one that we used merge queries for the other time. Let me use my this thing for that. There's a difference between bar chart and pie chart. Can someone tell me the difference between bar chart and pie chart? Many people used to feel that thing. Because what we're used to right from elementary studies is just bar chart, bar chart. So we think everything that has a bar is a chart, but they're actually different. And data analytics will open your eyes to that. Bar chart is different from pie charts. So who can tell me the difference? One is horizontal, one is vertical.
Yeah, Pasha is talking about the percentages like proportions. So
Yeah.
what the Basha is talking about, it's more or less like a line graph.
Yes, but
We are
do you know they are also
comparing.
serving same purpose actually. Just
Yeah,
that one is vertical, one is horizontal. So let's look at it from here. So these are our bar charts. Our bar chart is always horizontal. Our what's it called now? Our column chart is always vertical. It's like call it now. It's a basic data analytic interview question that many people will just mix up. Because they'll be wondering what's the difference between column chart and bar charts, but they are actually different. So okay, so let's look at I don't know, I think this customer name, there are quite many. So let me use this list. Let me use a table chart for it and click on my customer name. There are quite much. I don't want to stress. I don't want to stress myself with it. So let me just remove it. Okay, let me do something simpler. And I can use, let's do a trend analysis. Trend analysis is always with your dates. So you use your date hierarchy. So let's use a year. For all your trend analysis, it's best to use a line chart. A line chart, yeah. So they want us to check what the sales performance was for the last quarter. So let's choose quarter, right? And then let's look at sales. Where is it? Sales for each of the quarter. Yeah, it's the sales for each of the quarter. I'll still arrange all these things. I can put this here. This arrangement will matters a lot. And I can have this here. All right. So from here, when do you think they have their highest sales from this visual? Quarter one, two, three, or four?
One.
One, thank you. One. All right, so we can do the same thing. If you don't want to use quarter, we can also have, let's say, we want to look at it on yearly basis and see which month they make most of their profit. Look at it. Something as simple as this. or let's use quantity to determine how often they sell. So we can say when do they actually sell more in terms of quantity. Okay, Abisola, you can go for it.
Sorry, I just have a question. What variable will you check to get that beside the card one, the speedometer, or
There's what?
what the speed? I don't know what they call it. Beside the card that I used
Age.
previously, that one.
Age.
Yeah, the gauge. Yeah.
Yes,
What
yes.
what variable can you do to use that one?
Okay, so when you are looking at something that has a standard, for instance, so let's say the benchmark is 70%. So you want to benchmark that 70% against maybe other scores, other things that happen. Let's say the gross profit margin that, according to our budget for 2024, the gross profit margin should not be less than, let's say, 75%. That's a standard that your gauge can reach to 75%. But what you have, let's say you now have 55%, the gauge will show the difference between your actual and your budget. So you just have a standard or a benchmark, then it will show you where your mark is. You understand? More like your vehicle gauge now. The highest is, let's say, 180, but the gauge will always show you where you are. Let's say you are at the point of 80, or you are already going towards 160, almost getting to heaven before the 180. So it will always show you where you are. That's the gauge. We might use it if we get any reasonable data that can speak to it. Okay, so this for let me read it.
Sorry, I think I missed the two plotting,
The what?
these two graphs, the way we pick it from the
Okay, okay. I will explain with the next one I will do now. So for instance, this is just looking at the sales per quarter. So for the first quarter, so the first thing you just need to do is this next thing I want to do now, what is the best visual for it? Then I pick these line charts. Once you click on the line chart, a blank line chart will appear here. Then you click on the two variables you want. In this case now, I clicked on the quarter. This is the quarter is here under the order date. The quarter is here. And then the next one is sales, and then the sales is here. You got that? The sales is here. Or so that I don't have the same chart, I can just maybe use a column chart for this. Let me use this so that I don't have the same thing. Yeah, so I think this is fine. So this is sales for each of the quarter. This is quantity. Now, in this case, we are just guessing. Oh, quantity simply means the volume of sales, how people are buying things, right? So from here now, who can tell me the months they used to sell more?
May.
Are you sure it is May? My
April,
my
sorry.
distance is April. Thank you. And then we said PowerBI is very interactive. So by hovering my mouse around this thing, it's giving me what I need. So even if I'm making a presentation, I can simply tell them it is April, and I can even give them the figure because immediately my mouse is there. It will show me the sum of quantity, which is 6,592, either unit or kg or whatever the quantity is in this case. All right, so we also want to look at the performance of our employees. So note that I'm just doing random things, or not like by the time you be doing your own project, you need to be very straightforward. From here, I know the quarter we have the highest sales. From here, I know the month where we sell more, like in terms of quantity. I also want to look at my employee. Did I bring in their names? I didn't match the names. I didn't match the names. If not, I want to look at their performance, just like Excel. If we make changes to the data, will that automatically adjust the visuals? Oh, yes. If it is the same data set, yes, it should. So we can practicalize that too. So what I want to do now is to check my sales representative. These guys have a target, or they have targets. You have to bring in $5 million. You have to bring in $3 million. You have to bring in $2 million. So I want to know that performance. Are they really bringing sales? Are these guys not even the source of the problem we are having in this organization? The problem of not really getting enough. So let me bring this here. I didn't merge it under Power Query, so let me see if it will work. Customer or employee ID, this is the full name. And then let me check the profits. Okay, it actually worked. That makes sense. So these are all my employees, and these are the profits. Profit for the total period we are looking at is 70,000. The
Is
highest
there a way
here
to
is
is there a way to sort the profit?
yeah, we can always sort it. We can always sort it. There is sort somewhere here. I think I've seen some by I mean the sum of profit. Can you see that? Or should I go right again? Did
Yes,
you
thank
catch
you.
that? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we have the full name. If I don't want their names, I want their what's it called now? Maybe the title. I want to know if they are managers or they are just sales representative. Where is that thing again? Title. So I'll just remove this and I'll make it title. You can see what the title looks like. So let me change it back. Yeah. All right. Then I can sort it again. Sort by sum of profits. Good, 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 good. All right. We also need a card chart to tell us what the profit is. So I'll pick another card chart and then I'll click on my profits. So imagine we have a net sales and there's a difference between sales. This is one of the insights we can give to them actually. That guys, you have big number when it comes to revenue does not mean your profit is making sense. There are some costs eating it up. But that's from the point of view of a chartered accountant. We can leave that for now. Okay, so they have a net sales of 1.35 million, but in the actual sense, after deducting unnecessary costs, they have a profit of 270,000. I want to look at the first quarter alone, then I can click on quarter one, every other thing. That's why Power BI is very sophisticated and interactive. Once I click on just quarter one, you discover that everything I have is under this month is just January, February, March, quarter one. That's one. Number two, this sum of profits, it will only give you profit for the first quarter. So we have 92.6. If you check the sum of profit here too, it's 92.6. And then the profit we have, the revenue we have, or sales and revenue, they are the same thing. That we have for first quarter is 467,000. All right, so guys, please, I just want you to unmute and tell me what else I can do. What else? Just look at all of this and tell me what else I can do here. Just play
Sorry,
around with your system. Okay.
for the table, the sum of profit was giving me the same number for each name.
Giving the same
Two
number.
seven- Yes, when I click the sum of profit, 278.33 for all the names, Andrew Fuller, 278.33, and that's what
Okay, so
like
the
that.
full name, you clicked on the full name, right?
I guess maybe I
Or
didn't change the name.
tell me the two variables you selected to arrive at this your figure.
Just a minute.
Okay.
I only had I didn't have full name and I just had first name and last name. So I just picked, for example, I just picked first name. I know that it doesn't matter yet now. Then I
Yeah.
went to
Fair
first,
enough.
so it gave me Andrew, Anne,
Yeah.
Janet, Laura, Margaret. Then I
Okay.
went to click, so I went to order, right?
Yeah.
Then I went to profit, the one that has a sum profit.
Yeah. It should
Okay,
be the
and
same.
okay, just a minute. It's the same. I don't know why it's that.
Is it showing the
Uh,
same thing?
yep, same thing.
Oh,
Yes, maybe we can do that
shouldn't be.
after the
It
class.
shouldn't be. Yeah. We'll look at it, but it shouldn't be.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I want to introduce now is a slicer. Let's see what a slicer will do. It's doing almost the same thing as a filter, but it's quite different. So I'm clicking on that slicer now. Oh, no, 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 no. So the thing is, before you can do any other thing, always click on an empty canvas. For instance, if I click on this table chart, and I mistakenly click on any other visual, it will change it. So always click out first. After clicking out, then I can pick where's my slicer again? And pick on my slicer now. So let me bring my slicer here. What do I want to use in my slicer? I want years. All right, I want years.
Sorry, just a minute. I guess you're very fast now when you're moving your cursor. Just a little
Oh,
gently
I'm
so
very
that we can
fast. I'm sorry. Let me go
yeah,
back.
move your cursor. Yeah.
I was trying
So
to
we're
avoid
following after
it.
moving your cursor. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just go back. Now I want to select a slicer. And the essence, the reason why we need a slicer is to do the same work a filter will do. But in this case, a slicer makes it easier. You just need to, slide it, or there are some other dynamic things you can do with the slicer, right? So we have the slicer here. Just check this visual. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth row. Just check the fifth row. Beside the KPI, then you see your slicer there, right? I'll click on the slicer now, and I want to put it in the right position before it is up. So it will affect every other thing I'm doing here. Let me bring it to this side. Okay, so what do I want in my slicer? I want years, right? I'll just click on years. So obviously I only have 1996, 1990. Oh, okay. So let me change this date to 1996 to 1998. The data is so antiquated. Okay. So what this simply means is if I only want 1996, for instance, I'll just drag this to the side. Every other thing here will change. If I want 1996 to 1997, I'll drag it to the middle here. It will increase. If I want the 3 years, I'll drag the whole thing like this. And then we have the 3 years. So that's the slicer. It's very dynamic and it makes a whole lot of sense. Well, let me just change. The arrangement and everything is at your own discretion. You don't need to do the way I'm doing it. So I think it's okay. Yeah. Okay, so I want you to tell me what are the other things I can bring in here. What do you think I
Sorry,
can bring?
can you go over the year again if you don't mind, the
The
slicer?
slicer. Should
Yeah.
I remove
Okay,
it and start again?
okay, please. Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right, so click out. Make sure you are not clicking on any of these canvas, any of these visual rather. All right. So this is the slicer here. Row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have the slicer here. Just click on the slicer and drag it wherever you want it to be. So the slicer simply says, oh, which parts or what do you actually want? Do you want the first year, the second year, or the third year? You want the first and the second, or the first, second, and third? So it's more like, filter what you want in particular, specify what you want in particular. So I'll click on the year. I want year. So I'll just click on the year and then I have it here, 1996. So I can make this 1996 and 1997. Anything you are doing on the slicer affect everything in your canvas. You get that? Everything on your report will be
Thank
affected.
you.
Yeah. So let me change this to 90. Or if you don't want year, you want days. So you can just click on day. And if you have day 1 to 31, which will not even make anything. You want to look at what the performance is by the half of every month. This 1 to 15 of every month. So there are many things we can actually look at that. And then you will draw your, what's it called? Your insight from there. Okay, so I think this one will fit this place properly. Or let me still drag it down. Oh, we have about 15 minutes more. Let me still drag this down. I can still use a card chart for the total discount I gave during the period, right? Yes. I can just say discount. This is the total discount I gave during the period. Just 421. They're very stingy people. Okay. I think this makes sense. All right, so there are other things like I would still need to bring. Uh, So you can just do your own actually. You don't need to do the same thing I'm doing. So just do your own, see what you can do. Then don't forget, insight is the major thing. And this thing should not look too clumsy. It don't make sense. Shouldn't look too clumsy. Shouldn't look too jam-packed. Good. So you can bring, I just need two suggestions. Give me two other KPIs I can bring in here, please. I love to have a donut chart. I prefer a donut chart to a pie chart. Many people are used to this pie chart, and it's not always fine. Personally, I prefer, let's use a pie chart and see how it will look like. What can I use that for here? We don't really have enough this thing here, but when you're using a pie chart or a donut chart, the variables should not exceed, or the categories rather should not exceed like 5 or 6. If not, it won't make any sense again. Let's do type 2. I think the type 2s are just for good. Good. Type 2 versus mm, versus unit price. No, unit price doesn't make any sense. Let's give it to sales amount. Good. Look at it. Look at it. It makes sense, but let's look at donut charts. And that's why I always prefer donut charts. Which one do you think make more sense? Donut charts or a pie chart? Personally, I prefer a donut chart. Pie chart is always too common in any report. So which one do you prefer? Can I hear from one or two people? Do you prefer a donut chart or a pie chart? Instead of making it for a okay, which should make sense. I can just see, let's say, quantity. Yeah, still almost the same thing. That's the volume they sold. The donut chart is sweet, exactly. Because it is easy to understand. No, a donut chart is actually easy to understand. Look at it, very easy to understand. A pie chart here is much more visible, but this one looks a bit classy and then different from what every other person. Most people will always use pie chart. So this is sales by title. We should have edited this title. That title is this. You can see that most of these volume were sold by sales representative or salesman or this sales manager. Very few. Inside sales coordinator has just 11.52%. You can see it is showing me. So just by putting your mouse around it, it will show you. Sales representatives actually sold about 70% or about 71%, right? So now one last thing. Yeah, just tell me one last thing you think. I have an empty space there and I want to put something there. Just tell me one last thing I can do from here. And that 10 marks will go to someone. Just tell me one last thing I can bring in. But before that, yes, I remember. Now let's see the reason why we had to change employee ID to test instead of leaving it as numbers. Now, should I use employee ID or okay, let's use employee ID. Oh, okay, since we changed it to what's it called? So normally, if it were to be, let me use a chart, a table chart, and then I have my employee ID here, and then I also have my let me choose revenue. Where's the revenue? Sales amount. So it's showing me 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because this thing is now taking it as a test. It is no longer a number. If it were to be a number, like this sum of sales amount, it would have been calculating something for me too. But because it is now in form of a test, it is recognizing it as a code, just not an ordinary number, but a code, right? So let me remove this. This is not what we are using. So I just need someone to tell me what else I can do. Wanda, please prepare to share this, or you can share the slide with me for the updated mark. Let's see the first three on the scoreboard now. Please just share with me either on WhatsApp or Telegram. So I'm waiting. The last 10 marks. What else can we bring in here?
The country.
Country. Do we have countries here? Oh yeah, we have ship country, but I'm so sure this country will be very large. Let me see if I can engage a field map, if field map can do the work. Then we have our ship country. Are disabled to enable go to this. Okay, so we can actually enable it. That makes a whole lot of sense, and I think we should give Bisola that 10 marks. We can actually enable this, or should we try it now? We actually have 6 minutes more. I know I really took our time, the last class we had. I don't want to do that same thing now. So if not, I'll just say let's enable it and see how it will look like, but it's just almost another process on its own. So a map chart will help us see how we can or the countries we have our concentrated products and where we are getting more, where we are getting less, and we can bring out some insight from there. I mentioned something like a narrative the last time, right? Let's look at this for instance. I said Power BI can help you with your narrative instead of saying, oh, 6% of the quantity was from sales managers, 11% from inside sales coordinator. Narrative can just help you with that. Oh, sorry. Narrative can just help you achieve that. Let me remove this. Try one of these, get ready. I think I will have to activate this too. Okay. So what we'll just do is we'll start from there, the next class. We'll just see how we can engage our narrative, and then I think Wanda will just touch on all those things. Wanda will touch on everything. All right, so for now, is there any question? Anything you want to ask for now? Why is this thing changing, man? Please kindly indicate your student's ID. Yeah, okay. Is everyone, you can just drop your student's ID. But I still wish someone can, aside the ship country, I wish someone can still give me something I can use so that at least we don't have any empty space. Product that has the highest sales. But you know we don't have the product name. Wow. Another 10 marks to Mojisola Samuel. So we can actually, that's true. We can actually have a, where's my table charts? Please, I'm sorry guys, I know we have just 4 minutes more, just permit me. Product name, they're actually quite much, right? Or we can use our filter. Product versus what with highest sales. Good. Where's my highest sales? So we have it there, makes sense. This is a very wonderful suggestion. So we have product name versus sum. We can sum of sales amount. So we can just either filter this, filter and slice affecting this visual. The aren't all right no. Here's my thing. Yeah, so sort by sum of sales amounts. Yeah. Product name, quote display. That's like where we are getting most of our sales from. So that's 149,000, right? So the two things we'll be doing in our next class, Wanda will start with that. That's the filter and the narrative. Why I can see that before it comes up. So we can do our filter actually. We can filter by, let's say I want the first three, right? Or maybe I want the first five alone. That's the work of filter. And just a filter this that sum of sales amounts when it's less than, it's greater than. So I don't want to do a rush work. So I think we'll just do that one during the next class. Also, the next section we'll be having, we'll learn how to filter. Some of these things, you might not need this blue color. Maybe what you actually want is another color. So we'll just come to this visualization. There's a way we can edit many of these things. Like sum of net sales amount per quarter. It doesn't make any sense. I prefer to just remove it, change the title. So I can always change the title. From here, I can come to either visual or general where I can change the title. Anything you want to do, you can easily effect them here. So we still have a lot to do. So I will take that first part of the next section and then Wanda will just take us through the other parts. So far, so good. Does this make any sense? This is what all of us did together in the class. So I want you to drop in the chat box over 10. How does this look? We all did it rush work in the class. So from 0 to 10, Let's drop it in the chat box. Don't forget you are grading yourself because we all did this together. So just drop it in the chat box. Let's see. Before we go to our last quiz, please, why is everyone dropping ID? Yeah, for the what's it called? For the marks. But wonder, not everyone has ID yet, understandably. So you can just use their name. Or send the scoreboard to me. You can just use their name, send the scoreboard to me, and then I'm going to share that so that everybody can see the first three. I think Olayinka does not have an ID. I think Jeremiah too does not have an ID. So maybe just those two for now. So I said we should rate this. Let me wait on mute. I need to stop this recording. Okay, so this is the last brain teaser for today. A website analytic report shows that users paying the following time in minutes on the website. Very simple question. What is the average time spent on the website? Both three correct answers. This is very straightforward. Okay, Bisola, we've seen your response. Who else? That's 5 marks. Let's see if it is correct or not. No other person is dropping any answer. Let's be sure that's the correct answer. Are you sure? Let's just take one or two more. Let's see if one person will have something different. Why is another person giving a different answer? Okay, so the answer is very straightforward. 7.5. Find the average. The average is just a very basic question actually. All of that divided by 6 will give us 7.5 minutes, which is very correct. So I think the first three here, 5 marks to Bisola, 5 to Jeremiah, 5 to Samuel A. All right, so let's have the scoreboard. Wonder, do you want to share your screen or I should share mine before we all leave? Guys, please, let's take a screenshot of this. Everyone must present this. Let me share the screen back. Let's take a screenshot of this so that I'm expecting everybody to send in this before Tuesday class. Please upload it as your assignment on your e-portal. Upload it. Please, if you've not gotten your own account on the e-portal, try as much as possible to do that before Tuesday class. Okay, are we done with the screenshot? Wonder, please, are you done? Do you want to share your screen now?